Hi everyone, I'm Shi Qigan. Today our team will analyze the complaint we've chosen, the Smart Local. We will focusing on its industry background, market dynamics, customer segments, value proposition, competitive landscape, and providing relevant recommendations. First of all, the Smart Local is a Singapore-based digital media company founded in 2012. It focuses on providing lifestyle-related content, including food, travel, shopping, and everyday experiences. Unlike traditional review platforms, it emphasizes a local perspective by sharing authentic experience and helping users discover things to do in Singapore and beyond. In terms of content, the Smart Local operates across multiple platforms such as its website, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. It produces both written articles and short-form videos, creating an engaging content ecosystem that mainly targets young and urban audiences. This multi-platform strategy allows the company to build a strong brand presence and connect with users more effectively. From an industry perspective, the Smart Local operates within the digital media and social media marketing industry. Data Report's 2025 Singapore report shows the country had 5.61 million internet users and 5.16 million social media users identities at the start of 2025. This industry grew rapidly in recent years due to the rise of mobile internet usage, the popularity of short-form video content. In a highly digital market like Singapore, consumers increasingly rely on social media platforms to make decisions about lifestyle activities. As a result, content platforms like the Smart Local are becoming important channels for both information and marketing.
In terms of revenue streams, the Smart Local primarily generates income through branding, content, and advertising. It works with brands to produce sponsored articles and videos that are seamlessly integrated into its platform. Additionally, it also provides creative content creation services for brands, including copywriting, photography, video, and event planning. This business helps clients communicate their products and the messages to their target audience in a more engaging way. Third, TSL also combines technological tools to enhance content delivery and the marketing effectiveness, enabling brands to reach users more effectively. Overall, the Smart Local operates on a content-driven business model, combining media production, creative services, and media tech solutions with brand partnerships to create value.
Hi, I'm Li Xue. I'll talking about the key market changes affecting the Smart Local. I'll cover three things. First, the digital environment. Second, the forces affecting the business. And finally, the opportunities, threats, profitability. Let me start with the market change. According to IMDA, Information and Communication Media Development Agency, Singapore's digital economy reached 128 billion in 2024, which is about 18.6% of GDP. Also, 95% of SMEs have adopted at least one digital area. So, digitalization is no longer an option, it's a foundation. IMDA's Media Industry Digital Plan also supports publishing and digital advertising. This means the media sector is accepted to move further into digital solutions. Now, two forces are affecting the business. First, audience and platforms. Traditional media engagement is falling, but people are spending more time on social media and video platforms. Media brands now compete inside platforms, not just with each other. Researchers call the algorithm attention rings. Platforms control how attention is distributed. For TSL, this means reach and revenue can change quickly if algorithms change. Second, regulation. Singapore's PDPA, the Personal Data Protection Act, sets rules for how personal data is handled. IMDA's online safety framework also requires platforms to reduce harmful content. So, for media companies, growth now depends on trust, data compliance, and responsible platform use. So, Given three changes, the digital environment and the two forces I just mentioned, what does this mean for the smart local? Let me break it down into three parts. Opportunities, threats, and what profitability depends on. Starting with the opportunities. TSL can use its local relevance to build a direct relationship with readers through its website, social media, and events. IMDA also provides support like digital roadmaps and grants for SMEs. On the other hand, when it comes to threats, if TSL relies too much on platform traffic, it becomes vulnerable to algorithm changes. Besides that, it also has to deal with compliance costs and a more safety-focused environment. So, when it comes to profitability, in the end, it depends on whether the smart local can reduce platform dependence, strengthen trust, and turn local relevance into stable commercial value. To sum up, digitalization is the foundation for the smart local. Success depends on reduced platform dependence, strengthening trust, and turning local relevance into stable value. Thank you for listening.
Thank Lee Share for part 2, and we are gonna move to part 3, which is customer segment with me, Chan Baguk. Let's start. So firstly, the main target audience is young adult aged 18 to 24, including student and young professional. This group is highly active on social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. In fact, studies show that a large majority of young people use social media daily, with many using it almost constantly. Because of this, they prefer content that is short, visually engaging, and easy to consume, such as video, food reviews, lifestyle recommendation. In addition, TSL focuses on people living in Singapore, including both local and foreigner. These audiences are interested in discovering new food places, activities, and trends around the city. As a result, TSL create contents like things to do, cafe reviews, and hidden gems that are relevant to everyday life in Singapore. Secondly, another important segment is travel enthusiasts. TSL produces travel content featuring nearby destinations such as Malaysia, Thailand, Japan, or Korea, sometimes even Europe. This appeals to viewers who are planning trip and looking for a particular budget-friendly travel ideas. The platform not only promoted popular destinations but also highlight hidden gems, as many young travelers today prefer more authentic experiences rather than the typical tourist attraction. In addition, TSL also target businesses and brands as a secondary customer segment. This include restaurant, lifestyle brand, tourism organization that collaborate with TSL for marketing and sponsored content. This segment is especially important because it generated revenues. Brands are not just buying advertising space, but access to targeted and engaged audience. So now, why does TSL focus on this segment? Firstly, Gen Z and millennials are highly active online, which ensure consistent traffic and visibility for TSL contents. Secondly, they show high level of engagement to like, share, comments, in increasing a chance of content going viral and attractive advertiser. Moreover, they're interested in food, travel, and social experiences align closely with TSL contents strategy. This allows TSL to create relevant and appealing content, improving audience retention. From business perspective, these segments are highly valuable because brands want to reach them to authentic and targeted advertising. TSL can monetize through sponsored posts, branded video, and in targeted campaigns. And finally, these segments support a scalable business module where content can be distributed across multiple platforms to reach both active and passive users. In conclusion, TSL targeted young digital users, Singapore-based audiences, travel enthusiasts, and business partner. By understanding this segment, TSL is able to create content that is engaging, relevant, and profitable. Thank you.
是旗杆. Now I will be analyzing the value proposition of the smart local. Using the value proposition canvas, I will evaluate what problem it solves, the value it creates, and whether it is differentiated and defensible. First, what problem does TSL solve? Singapore reportedly has an internet penetration rate exceeding 95%, with Singaporeans spending an average of 6 hours and 33 minutes online daily. Users are exposed to a massive amount of information daily. This leads to a significant pinpoint, information overload. When choosing what to eat or where to go, people often face the problem of too many choices and unreliable information. Many travel enthusiasts also plan trips that are seriously flawed even by local standards due to a lack of knowledge. TSL's core proposition is precisely to solve these problems. They help users filter out information noise by carefully curating localized and highly relevant content, enabling users to make decisions faster and more confidently. Then I will explore customer needs, pain points, and gains. Users want to understand local trends, find reliable, engaging, and highly localized content, discover new food and entertainment options, and connect with their own culture. However, their pain points include information overload from multiple platforms and numerous choices, fear of missing out on training topics, and concerns about misleading advertising. TSL addresses these pain points by consolidating fragmented information into a credible information stream through articles, videos, social media posts, and other products and services. Furthermore, TSL offers a one-stop entertainment service, providing both in-depth articles on hawker culture and light-hearted Singaporean English videos, creating dual value for users. TSL's functional value is clear. It's a free, convenient, and reliable guide platform that saves time and money. However, its emotional value is even more important. The platform aims to empower local residents, compensating for the shortcomings for foreign comments that distort local experience. This evaluates TSL beyond a mere information provider. Its content is both informative and community-driven, enhancing not only the content itself but also strengthening connections and interactions between people, ultimately boosting Singaporean users' sense of identity and belonging. Next, I will discuss differentiation and defensibility. Although TSL is a mass-market product, its emphasis on Singaporean culture and its use of language appealing to young people differentiate it from other media. However, the high replicability of TSL's content leads to increased homogenization and hinders sustainable development. This advantage lies in its average of over 400,000 followers across various platforms. Therefore, TSL's true sustainable development lies not only in its content but also in its established community and the data it possesses.
Hello everyone, I'm Rongzhen. Now I will analyze the smart local's competitive landscape. Compare it with two direct competitors and one indirect competitor. TSL Media Group describes itself as a Singapore-based collective of media publications, creative services, and media tech solutions. And it has also expanded into data solutions and influencer marketing strategy. So TSL is not just competing on content, it is also competing on service packages and audience solutions. First, Honeycombers is a strong direct competitor because it is also a digital lifestyle platform with content covering food, travel, health, and events. Among other things, boasting over 1 million monthly readers. Compared to TSL, Honeycombers' strengths lie in its more focused lifestyle positioning and the more mature brand collaborations. However, its reach is relatively narrow. So if TSL can broaden and deepen its local content, it can differentiate itself in terms of content breadth. City Nomads is another direct competitor. It is an independent digital publication covering food, travel, lifestyle, and wellness. So it has strong niche credibility, especially for experience-led readers. City Nomad's weakness lies in its smaller scale compared to TSL, thus limiting its reach and the business growth potential. That means that TSL should combine broader coverage with more specialized creative and data services. The most representative indirect competitor is Mothership, a Singaporean digital media company primarily focused on news. It also competes for Singaporean audience attention and advertising budgets. Its strength is mass reach and high visibility. Reuters Institute reports that Mothership had 46% weekly online reach in Singapore in 2025. Its weakness lies in its greater focus on news and entertainment. So it is less specialized in hyperlocal lifestyle content. TSL can differentiate itself through more practical, local lifestyle content and a relatable brand image. For price, none of these three companies have publicly disclosed their prices. However, they all have advertising consulting services, so they all rely on customized advertising, partnerships, and content marketing. TSL's advantage lies in its broader B2B service system, covering publications, creative services, data solutions, and influencer marketing strategies. This indicates that TSL has stronger integration capabilities than its competitors who primarily rely on content plus advertising. Overall, Honeycomb Brands dominates lifestyle branding, City Nomads dominates niche credibility, and the Mothership dominates mass attention. TSL is currently in the middle, but if it can leverage its more localized content to gradually build more direct connections with its readers, while improving its business services, this middle position could actually become an advantage.
Hi everyone, I'm Ibota, and I will be presenting the strategic insight and recommendation for the Smart Local. I will focus on three main insights and the recommendation based on them. According to VR Social and the Meltwater's 2025 Singapore report, social media usage is very high, and the users are active across many platforms. This creates strong opportunity, but also make competition for attention much more intense. In addition, visibility is increasingly influenced by platform algorithm, which means media brands like TSL are not fully in control of their reach. Therefore, our first recommendation is for TSL to strengthen its differentiation, so more distinctive hyperlocal content. For example, TSL could develop recurring content series such as neighborhood-based guides, budget-friendly lifestyle content for students and young working adults, and create lead local storytelling. Research by Hollybook and Mackey suggests that relevant and valuable content help building stronger engagement and trust. So this would help TSL stand out more clearly. Second, TSL local relevance is a key strength, but its content is still vulnerable to imitation in a crowded digital environment. Many platforms now produce similar food, travel, and lifestyle content, so attracting views once is not enough. TSL also need audiences to return regularly. Reuters Institute's 2025 report shows that audiences are increasingly rely on social media and video platforms, which makes competition for attention even stronger. So our second recommendation is for TSL to improve audiences retention and reduce dependence on platform algorithm. For example, TSL can use TikTok and Instagram for short-form discovery, and then guide users to YouTube or its website for deeper content, such as full guides or reviews. It could also create a recurring format or a themed content series so users know what to expect and are more likely to return. This would help TSL build more stable audience relationship instead of rely only on platform drive or traffic. Third, as TSL grows commercially, it must balance monetization with audience trust. In a more regulated and data-sensitive environment, trust has become a key factor for digital media brands. Edelman's 2025 Trust Report suggests that audiences respond more positively to brands that are relevant, authentic, and transparent. Therefore, our third recommendation for TSL to make branded content more useful, authentic, and transparent. For example, sponsored content could provide practical value such as local guides or recommendation-style content and remain consistent with TSL usual tone. Clear disclosure is also important so that audiences understand the commercial intent without feeling misled. This would allow TSL to grow commercially while maintaining audience trust. Overall, TSL is already in a strong position, but its future success will depend on whether it can become more distinctive, improve retention, and maintaining trust in a highly competitive digital environment. Thank you. And this is our reference list.